Please let me share with you my experience and my team in the treatment of aortic arch pathologies. And you know better than me, that one who are doing endovascular procedure, that introduction of TVAR for the standing aortic pathology led to its application for many clinical situations in different centers. And this extends to use of TVAR for stenting of the aortic arch and also ascending aorta, like previous speaker, Professor Ulon, showed you some minutes ago, with or without open great vessel debranching. But the open surgery is still mandatory in many cases that I present here. You can see different options to treat complex aortic aneurysm, just starting from the regular open surgery by thoracotomy and through the hybrid procedure, as well as like here with the Nexus device, who is one and only device available off the shelf, or double or triple branch technique. So our proposition is to learn one platform to have better experience in our technical issue. And as you can see here, we treat 25 patients in this territory with a different aneurysm, mostly isolated aortic aneurysm, but also some patients with coexisting aneurysm in aortic arch, as well in the descending aorta, and with some other vascular problems. Finally, after having some experimental study that we are not doing anymore, techniques like chimney only in a bailout situation, we decided to use a relay platform in my institution, starting from very simple cases with just with the scallops, then with fenestrations. Then we start to mix technique using scallops and fenestration. And finally, as Professor told before me, whenever it's possible and whenever it's need, we are using a triple branch or double branch technique. In some of the cases, absolutely at the beginning, we use also the Amplatzer to cover the left subclavian artery to avoid the type 2 endoleak from that artery. But now, as I mentioned, whenever it's possible, we are trying to save this artery. During the follow-up, we noticed, of course, some problems. We noticed some deaths in our patients. Some of them were directly connected with the treatment, like in the third one, when we noticed a sudden death on the 4th month after the procedure, and it was probably because of the heart rupture. We also find some technical complication, mostly because of the reconnected parts of the stent grafts and some occlusions without any clinical consequences. We've been lucky. So let's go to show you some of our cases. This is one of the simplest one. This is bovine arch with aortic arch aneurysm and with coexisting type B dissection. And in this particular situation, we decided to accept a fenestration in the stent graft. And here you can see the pictures after the implantation of this device with the fenestration that covered, that makes space for the bovine arch, and that was one of those patients that we use Amplatzer plug to LSA to avoid the endoleak. And this is a little bit complicated case when we mixed both technique, I mean the scallop and the fenestration. The fenestration, of course, for LSA, because of the two false aneurysms existing in the aortic arch and in the beginning of the descending aorta. And in this particular case, we finished the procedure with bringing balloon expandable stent through the LSA, just prepare patients for the future interventions that were needed. This is one of our most complicated cases. Just at the beginning of the way we start to treat aortic arch aneurysm, because it was a patient with aortic arch aneurysm and with coexisting right common carotid artery aneurysm at the same time. So we decided to bring a real double branch device here. So this is a characteristic that here you are the front pocket with two tunnel, one dedicated for for left common carotid artery. This is the posterior one, and the anterior one dedicated to brachiocephalic trunk. And the good thing is that the company is supplying both peripheral stent grafts that you can see here, that are very accurately measured and are dedicated for each particular patient. So here you can see first we introduce a real NBS Plus to the descending aorta as a support for the custom-made real thoracic stent graft that we bring into ascending aorta with this both tunnel, and at the same time on the open repair we treat the right interior carotid artery aneurysm, and finally we did a bypass between the left subclavian artery and the left common carotid artery. And this is the last case I would like to share with you. This is a real triple branch system provided into the aortic arch in a patient with the aneurysm, and as you can see here, with coexisting aneurysm of the descending aorta. In such a cases, we are trying to stage the procedure just to avoid the spinal cord ischemia. This is under discussion if it's a good or no, but I think the staging in some clinical scenario is mandatory. And again, you can see here the drawing that is very similar to the double branch device. The only difference is that here you can see the retrograde oriented tunnel dedicated exactly for a left subclavian artery. And this is a situation when we normally are using Viaband self-expandable stent graft or VBX, when the angulation between LSA and the aortic arch is quite good. And here you can see the operation, how it looks like. So playing with the wires on a different way. It's possible from the femoral axis as well, from the brachial axis, and that's what previous speaker told. We still are trying to open carotid artery, having in mind that this is the best protection for the brain. And here you can see the last stage of procedure, and in the maneuver wire from the brachial artery coming through the device and to the femoral axis, we open the Viaband. And this is the final story of that patients, when you can see a good apposition of all details, peripheral stent grafts, and a good position of in the arch. So thank you very much for your kind attention.